This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this morning, Rivers State government files appeal at Supreme Court over VAT dispute. President Buhari seeks National Assembly's approval for fresh external loans. Edo State government to bar unvaccinated civil servants from working from today. Senior advocate OCJ Okocha faults Nigeria's system of government. Rivers State University awarded University of the Year 2021 by an international research organization in Canada. On the foreign scene, Taliban leader in major row as presidential palace. I am Ifiemi Andrew. The Rivers State government has moved to the Supreme Court to challenge the ruling of the Court of Appeal in the value-added tax dispute between the state and the Federal Inland Revenue Service. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Emmanuel Okala, alongside three other senior lawyers, filed a notice of appeal at the Apex Court documents obtained by Channels Television on Tuesday. The Attorney General of Rivers State is the appellant, while the FIRS and Attorney General of the Federation are joined as respondents. The state government and the 10 grounds of appeal dated September 13 informed the Supreme Court that it was dissatisfied with the decision of the appellate court delivered on Friday last week, in which all parties were directed to maintain status quo. It also asked the Apex Court to order that the substantive appeal by the FIRS and all other processes be heard and determined by a new panel of the Court of Appeal. A former president of the Nigeria Bar Association, OCJ Okocha, says Nigeria is not among nations that are practicing democracy. OCJ Okocha said this while speaking on this year's International Democracy Day. He told correspondent Emeka Otuka that Nigeria is still operating a military system of government.
Well, let me say categorically that I do not agree with you that for nearly 22 years we have practiced democracy in Nigeria. We are still operating as if we are under military rule. Human rights of citizens are being denied. Recently, I've been reading publications in both the print and electronic media of journalists who have been dealt with in what I would call very, very, very draconian situations. So I cannot agree that we have practiced democracy in Nigeria. And look at what the political parties are doing. Most of them do not uphold even their own constitutions and their own regulations.
The senior advocate of Nigeria also said that the Nigerian constitution must be amended before the country can be said to be practicing democracy.
So I think that we as Nigerians need to sit back and look at this thing that we say we want democracy in Nigeria. And you know, we have a constitution that is still being amended and modified. I have said that the shenanigans of the National Assembly cannot take us to the promised land. We need a constitutional conference so that we determine first the structure of the federation, second the tiers and levels of government, third the issue of revenue allocation and revenue mobilization, and then this thing we call true federalism, which is at the bottom of all. So I think that we need to sit back, take a look again, and agree that Nigeria has not reached that land that is democracy.
As you may know, International Day of Democracy is observed on the 15th of September every year to promote and hold the principles of democracy. Still ahead, Nigeria Correctional Service says over 100 fleeing inmates have been rearrested in Kogi State. Stay tuned. The Nigerian Correctional Service says over 100 fleeing inmates have been rearrested from the jailbreak recorded at Kogi State on Monday. The PRO, Controller of Corrections Francis Enobere, told correspondent Ijoma Esekalaye that efforts are on to recapture the remaining fleeing inmates. Enobere appealed to those still yet to be recaptured to voluntarily report to the closest correctional center or be treated as fugitives.
Because we have their biometrics, we have their photograph in our custody, they cannot continue to run and turn themselves to everlasting fugitive. The earlier they make themselves available for proper trial process to be carried out, the better it will be for them. I'm appealing to people to assist with useful intelligence that will lead to their rearrest, because some of these inmates are dangerous criminals.
Dele Monica, elder sister to Godwin Barra, who was declared wanted by the Rivers State government, has raised an alarm that her brother is missing. Monica told our correspondent that immediately her brother was declared wanted by the state government, he was advised to clear himself of the allegations. She said she has been visiting the police stations in search of her brother, but to no avail.
Since yesterday that he left the house around in the morning, I called him last around 6 o'clock. We cannot find him till now. His phone has been switched off. Since morning till now, the children have been crying. We cannot find him up till now. I've been going from one police station to the other. Now they said I should go to the one at Moscow Road. So please, I want the River State government to help me and search for my brother. He's my only brother that I have. He has cleared himself. Our family has never been involved in anything like that before.
Recall that last week the Rivers State government declared Godwin Barra and 2 others wanted for alleged criminal activities and harassment of contractors, particularly Julius Berger in the state. Security agencies in the state were then directed to arrest the wanted persons for prosecution. An allegation of all three have denied. Meanwhile, a civil rights advocate, Opunabo Inkotaria, has called on the state government to investigate complaints of poor salaries and welfare by staff of Julius Berger PLC. Mr. Inkotaria's call follows a protest by some staff of Julius Berger last week over poor salaries and welfare packages.
That this is one allegation that needs to be investigated. If it is true that indigents are paid 700 naira per day by Julius Berger, then that is quite unfair, a case of gross injustice and insensitivity. This is one allegation that ought to be investigated. Julius Berger cannot pay workers 700 naira and deny them medicals, considering the precarious nature of their job. This is a company that receives hundreds of billions of naira. 700 naira per day is less than 30,000 naira per month, which is the minimum wage as approved by the federal government. So that's quite unfair, although Julius Berger is yet to stay his own side of the story.
The Edo State government has announced that from today, all civil servants who are yet to receive the COVID-19 vaccine will be barred from entering their offices. The head of the COVID-19 enforcement team in the state, Haruna Yusuf, disclosed this at a press briefing on Tuesday.
We have trained 20 special teams. Will be spread across the 18 local government of Edo State. We're going to test those who have authentic vaccination card access to their government working places, and those without can go back and work from home. And government will know how to deal with all of that. So, from the 15th of September, at all the state facilities, government house, the 18 local government secretariats, the state civil secretariats will be manned by these special forces.
Meanwhile, human rights activist Osage Obayiwana has criticized the Edo State government for insisting to make vaccination compulsory despite a court order stopping it from doing so. Mr. Obayiwana, who is also a former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Edo State, told Nigeria Info that government at all levels should employ persuasion instead of force.
We need to change the narration in our country at this time to more of constructive engagement. In the final analysis, what Mr. Governor seeks to achieve is perhaps protection of members of the public. And so he needs to engage members of the public and use the tool of persuasion. You know, what makes rape offensive is the the lack of consent. And that is why even when operations are to be carried out, an informed consent is required. Federal government so far has not shown much capacity. Suppose the workers decide to go on strike nationwide over this, what is it that they can do? You can't compel a man or a woman to ingest what he has principled opposition to.
Meanwhile, 519 new cases of COVID was recorded in Nigeria. Lagos recorded 120, Ondo 110, Rivers 74, Edo 63, FCT 58. Other states that recorded cases were Oyo, Kaduna, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Kano, Ogun, Plateau, Adamawa, and Gombe states. Students of the University of Benin blocked the Ugbowo axis of the Benin-Lagos Expressway in protest over a hike in their school fees. The protests saw the activities at Ugbowo and Ekewon Road campuses paralyzed. The students also criticized the comment by the school PRO that it is a privilege for students to be given admission to study at Uniben.
Country, how can you expect us to pay 45,000 in less than 2 months? Now we don't have the money. You are adding additional 20,000. I can't pay 45. How will I see 65? I got cleared yesterday morning in less than 24 hours. Now I'm expected to pay 93,000. We don't want year late payment. We don't get 20K. Now me they clothe myself. Now me they feed myself. It took my father almost 2 months to send me 45K. I did school 1 month. I not see lecture. School don't resume. You come class, you drop course outline. You give me assignment 8. What do you teach me? Children that cannot pay 40-something thousand. We have been 60-something thousand. If they don't reverse the money, we are not living here. Whether you increase the school fees by figure or by extra charge, that is increment of school fees, and it's not acceptable.
The Rivers State University has been awarded University of the Year 2021 by an international research organization in Canada. The Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Nlero Mokogbule, stated this during a press briefing at the school in Port Harcourt.
Because of the numerous achievements that we have recorded within this period, Rivers State University has been nominated and given an award as the University of the Year 2021 by the International Research Achievement Center in Montreal, Canada. By this award, we are entitled to put it on our website. As a university, we have religiously had uninterrupted academic activities, even during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. It may be mentioned that during that period, we had to deploy online e-resources for our postgraduate lectures and examinations. And that is why the Rivers State University is today a university of choice.
He also noted that the accreditation exercise conducted by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria and the National Accreditation. Professor Kogbule, while appreciating the state government
medical college, and it is in recognition of the enormous infrastructural facilities and personnel engagement done by the Rivers State government under the leadership of His Excellency Nyesom Ezewonwike. I wish to use this opportunity to specially thank him for the enormous support and assistance he has given us as a university since his assumption of office as governor of Rivers State. Let me also use this opportunity to appreciate the sense of duty and commitment demonstrated by the academic and non-academic staff of the university, which resulted in this positive result.
The Vice Chancellor also assured parents of the safety of the awards at the institution. Professor Okogbole, who sympathized with the family of those who died recently, said measures have been put in place by the school management to tackle crime and cultism. Some students writing WAEC were prevented from writing the English language subject. They were chased out of Comprehensive Secondary School Nkume in Jaba in Imo State for failing to obey the Monday weekly sit-at-home order. Meanwhile, IPOB, in a statement on Tuesday issued by its Media and Publicity Secretary Mal Powerful, said it would remove the ears of anyone found to enforce the order as the leader of the group. Nnamdi Kanu had mandated that the exercise be called off. In the meantime, the 17 Southern governors will tomorrow converge in Enugu State for a meeting. The meeting, the third for this year, will be hosted by Governor Ifiemi Gwanyi. It will be held at the Government House in Enugu. The Secretary General of Kana Local Government Area, CDC, Alex Nwinane, says his life is being threatened following his refusal to retract his statement to the media after their planned event at the Community Primary School 2 was allegedly disrupted by the Chairman of Council, Thomas Barere. Mr. Nwinane, who is also the CDC Chairman of Bongo Banga Community in Kana, at a media briefing in Port Harcourt, accused Dr. Thomas Barere of imposing a new CDC executive in Bungu Banga community, saying since he refused to heed to his demand, he therefore called on the state government and the Commissioner of Police to call the council chairman to order.
He called me personally that I should go back to the radio and refute what I have just said to the pressmen. Since then, my life has been under threat. He gave me 3 days, or he's going to bring me down from the CDC ship in my community and in Kana. On Sunday, he popped into my community, Bunubanga, and set up a purported CDC cabinet. A youth of my community, Mr. Emmanuel Pan, refuted him that he cannot do that. At that point, this young man was bullied up and get arrested. 3 days now, he's under detention.
Also, a stakeholder in Kana local government area, Evangelist Emmanuel Biek-Bakasi, condemned the alleged action of the council chairman as it could lead to a crisis in the area, which had witnessed a series of security challenges in recent times.
I must say that the action of the Kana local government chairman, Dr. Thomas Barere, is coming to me as a great surprise. What he has done is against the rule and the constitution of CDC. It is the community that have the sole right to appoint whosoever that will relate and interface with the local government or the state government to bring development to the community level. This man, Alex Minane, his tenure has not elapsed as the CDC chairman of Bunubanga. Why use your power as a local government chairman to take up the position? So I am calling on the local government chairman, Thomas Barere, to trace his step and do the right thing. And as a matter of fact, why can't we have a voice to speak in the local government? If we cannot criticize the wrongdoings of the land, what kind of democracy are we practicing in the area?
Our correspondent reports that the Kana boss, Dr. Thomas Barere, is yet to react to these allegations. Some stakeholders from Rumekwe clan are calling for a rebuttal of an earlier report by one God's Power Ainhia alleging an imposition of NDPR MOU committee members on the community by the lawmaker representing Emoha constituency in the State House of Assembly, Sam Oge. CDC chairman of Omegwa community, Ibuchi Obodo, described the report as false.
I'm asking the public to regard that information from God's Power Onyema Anyim that brought about Sam Oge. The honorable member is trying to assist see how the expired GMOU since 2011, at least to see what the community will achieve from there. And some of all these men, they don't come home. They always come for trouble. We ask public, they should disregard the information. It's fake lie from the earlier information yesterday.
On his part, Paramount ruler of Ovele Unvako Hea community, Unyegala Okudu, called for a review of the MOU between the clan and the Niger Delta Petroleum Resources Limited, NDPR.
NDPRO had an earlier agreement with the community 2011 and it has since expired. So we are asking that the MOU should be reviewed. I'm also rendering many apologies to Honorable Sam Oge, who want to actually see that our dreams come true. He should continue his good work.
The chairman of Abua Odua local government area, Daniel, has called on the people of the area to turn out en masse for the foundation laying ceremony of Aboga ultra-modern shopping mall scheduled to hold today. Mr. Daniel, in a statement, said that the foundation laying ceremony will be performed by the lawmaker representing Abua Odua State Constituency at the Rivers State House of Assembly, Solomon Sokolo, by 10 a.m. at Ayama Abua Central. The Abua Odua Council Chairman also approved the nomination for appointments of supervisors and advisors, which are Tongoni Okowa, Vincent Riaben, Dominic John Idirima, Zinami Fine Road, Iwariso, and Ibo Okidim. Other nominees are Joseph Samson Fela Itubo, Iguni Igweke, Alex Walter, Ayera Margaret Joe, and Asalim Maika. Business and markets in Obiakwa local government area have been told to remain closed from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and observe environmental sanitation every Thursday and last Saturday of the month. In a statement, the council advised them to clean and dispose of their waste immediately after close of the day. Council also frowned at road sweepers dumping refuse inside drainage, walkways, and on the median strip. It also said scavenging of dump sites is prohibited. Community heads, spiritual leaders, and markets leaders and landlords are advised to ensure their people comply fully with these laws. The council warned that defaulters will be prosecuted, as the local government chairman, Honorable Barrister George Ariolu, is poised to keep the environment clean and green.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
A major row broke out between leaders of the Taliban over the makeup of the group's new government in Afghanistan. Senior Taliban officials told the BBC that the argument between the group's co-founder Mullah Abdul Ghani Barada and a cabinet member happened at the presidential palace. There have been unconfirmed reports of disagreement within the Taliban's leadership since Mr. Barada disappeared from public view in recent days. They have been officially denied. On the news this morning, you heard that the Rivers State government has gone to the Supreme Court to challenge the VAT ruling. President Buhari is seeking the National Assembly's approval for fresh external loans. Edo State government is set to bar unvaccinated civil servants from work beginning from today. Family of man declared wanted by state government raises alarm over his whereabouts. The Rivers State University has been awarded University of the Year 2021 by an international research organization in Canada. On the foreign scene, a major row has broken out between leaders of the Taliban over the makeup of the group's new government in Afghanistan. The news is edited by Enoho Ogbeviri. Contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017. For more stories, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Cloudy weather expected in Port Harcourt this morning. My name is Ifiemi Andrew. Thank you for your time.